Yeah, as you guys can see, this is pretty much a disaster, and I'm at the point where I'm pretty much giving up in the court system, and it's just too much of waste of my time and efforts. This doesn't even include all the papers I have organized over there in different folders.
These are court documents that he presumably needs, and he just throws them all over the place on the floor.
I've probably filed like 20 federal lawsuits and over 20 state lawsuits, and the only ones that worked out were where they just like blatantly stole money from me. So this is why I'm making this video, to ask you guys to help hand out flyers. If you need a part-time job or a full-time job, especially if you're in Los Angeles or New York City, I have some flyer materials. I will put the new material in the description of this video. On one side of the flyer is just my story, and on the other side is just like a little advertisement for the meat business. In addition to that, I also have some business cards, one business card for the meat advertisement and one business card for the Tufano stuff. If you guys email me, I can mail you the materials, or if you want to print them out.
That's probably not a good idea for him to do that, by the way, because Taban's lawyers could argue in court that he's not doing this for any actual personal reason, but he's doing this to promote his business. Have you trained hamstrings directly when you
get yourself with a color printer? That's also an option. I can reimburse you for that. I have some business cards ready, but these new official flyers, which I like a lot more, I'm going to have to order those soon, so those probably won't be here for a week. So if you guys email me, frankatufano@gmail.com, please just be patient. I'm just trying to get all the flyer materials ready for you guys to hand out, because I don't know what else to do at this point. I mean, if I was being smart, you know, we'd go full throttle. I'd start handing out flyers of what these people do to children, but if you think I'm canceled now, that'll really get me canceled. I haven't even opened my bag.
Like, he's already in a lawsuit with Paul Saladino for $2.8 million over this.
Is Israel based?
Yep. I guess just to give you guys an idea of what we've been filing here. The USDA federal lawsuit got thrown out instantly, so we filed state lawsuit. We had another one with an online company issue. One lawsuit I had to file against an oven company because they wouldn't give me replacement parts. One I had to file against my bank because they didn't honor the mortgage agreement terms. We filed one lawsuit against the Better Business Bureau for extorting me. We filed one lawsuit against basically state of Pennsylvania for not giving me benefits when I'm completely broke. We filed one lawsuit against the...
Wait, let me back up here.
Not giving me benefits. We filed one lawsuit against basically state of Pennsylvania for not giving me benefits when I'm completely broke.
He's applying for state benefits, like food stamps? He has a food company.
Speaking of which,
we filed one lawsuit against the chargeback people. We filed a lawsuit against that's a federal and state lawsuit for the chargebacks. We filed the new lawsuit against Shopify as well because the judge wouldn't let me file just against the chargeback people. And then we had to file some stuff against the current Tufano lawsuits. And there was also 2 new lawsuits. We had to file a third-party complaint against the lawyer that got my TikTok taken down, and then we had to file a new lawsuit against Tufano for the tortious interference in getting my TikTok taken down. So there were 2 lawsuits related to the TikTok getting taken down. I haven't organized these papers in like 2 or 3 weeks, so this isn't like, it's not like I haven't been on top of this. This is the amount of paperwork I accumulated in just a few weeks, so it's getting kind of ridiculous at this point. We have all these different, like, you know, I'm spending like $100 a day on just post office summons and stuff that I have to file these affidavits. All for what? All for what? For these judges just to just dismiss the case instantly and not do the right thing. You know, at this point, I have no confidence.
Like, if he believes that, then why does he bother doing it? Frank is a very peculiar person.
Whatsoever that any of these judges are ever going to do the right thing. They're just going to side with the big businesses and the big corporations. Even this Tufano lawsuit. So probably just going to be handing out flyers the rest of my life. It looks like that's what we're going to have to do. Just try to get as much support as possible. And the reason we're doing flyers is because I'm so heavily censored and shadow banned online, I don't really have any options. This is actually for disability. They're declining my disability despite me not being able to perform most household tasks or do anything. I mean, it's like, I'm gonna have to file a lawsuit against disability too at this point. Like, I'm never gonna be able to play sports for the rest of my life again. It's completely crazy what this fucking eye surgery did to me.
What does it mean he's never gonna be able to play sports again? He never played sports. I'll never be able to dance ballet like you never did ballet.
So the least they could fucking do is give me disability payments. A lot of this paperwork is like the motions and stuff that the Tufano's lawyers filed in those state cases, but in the California cases. But that we're waiting on some new filings in the Tufano cases to see what the judge says. There's another lawsuit. Used restaurant equipment guy that ripped me off for like $30,000. I had to sue the used car company that sold me my used BMW because the tires were dry rotted. They wouldn't reimburse me. It's just a bunch of nonsense, and unfortunately, that's just how most businesses are. You know, they're just out to get you and just rip you off in any way, and that's the only way these people can make a profit. Because if you're not ripping people off, you know, it's a lot more difficult and it's a lot more work to actually make money. You know, it's the hard way, which is what I've been doing, and I still have all these people taking advantage of me, still losing, you know, $1,000 in chargebacks every week, and all this legal harassment. And it's comical how people say, "Oh, Frank, you need a lawyer. You need to get a lawyer." First of all, I'm completely broke. I can't afford a lawyer. None of these attorneys wanted to help the most blatantly obvious case of medical malpractice I've ever seen in my life. And they're all working against me. All lawyers, everyone is in the club. And what happened to me in the court case against Rat Boy was my own lawyers worked against me and basically just took my money and let them win. That's what they'll do. So anyone saying that I need to get an attorney or legal representation or a lawyer is a complete shill that has no clue what they're talking about. The legal system is completely corrupt. I don't believe any of these courts will legitimately entertain a pro se litigant in any capacity whatsoever. I would actually like to see any court cases. I would like to see one court case where a pro se litigant sued a company or anyone and actually won the case. I'd like to see it. I'm not aware of that happening. I find it difficult to believe that it has happened, considering that when I file cases in the federal court, they don't go anywhere. I don't even get to serve the opposing defendant papers. They just dismiss the case with like a preliminary review of it. So now I'm trying the state court instead, which seems to be better. So if you guys do want to support me, please, I can pay you guys hourly if you need a part-time job or if you need some help. Just send me an email, frank@tufano@gmail.com, and we're going to hand out these flyers and see if it can help my business, or I can get more support, or I don't really have any other ideas at this point. Yeah, there's actually a few lawsuits in the state court that I applied for default judgments against. So
It'll be up
there are a
tomorrow.
few people that were
Done
messing with me
already.
last year. They didn't respond to my legal cases. They didn't respond to the complaint. I filed the affidavits. It's been 90 days. So we filed the default judgments. We'll see what the court says if I can get it reimbursed against these people. So once the court issues the judgment, then they're going to have to respond to vacate the judgment. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, the one case I actually won was in I forgot what county it is, but it's up by Watertown. Some real estate agent stole my $5,000 deposit.
Do you mind?
And I filed a case in the Supreme Court, and they had to pay me back. So that's the only case I've won so far, which was just them blatantly stealing money. But yeah, if you guys want to support me, please email frank@tufano@gmail.com. If you have.
Why did he upload this? He just has like this really deep-seated need to complain. Like he just wanted to whine and complain and get attention, basically.
Have access to your own printer, I will put the Imgur files in the description of this video, and you guys can take a look at all the materials that we have on the Imgur page right now. Yeah, I'm really not physically well. You know, I have too much over here to manage with this business. I just, you know, as much as I like to go out to California and hand out these flyers myself, it's just very difficult right now. You know, between the vision, my physical health with my liver still isn't good. You know, I got all this work down here I have to do with my business. I have a lot of problems with my house, and the landlord isn't fixing anything. So, you know, I really don't have much time here. So if you guys can help me in any way whatsoever, whether it's, you know, continuing to support my business and place the orders, or you know, if you do need a part-time job yourself, hopefully this works out where, you know, I'm assuming that, you know, handing out the flyers is going to be a positive advertisement benefit. Like I'm going to get more customers and actually make money and be able to support more people.
He might actually end up getting another lawsuit where he's going to get shut the fuck up again. If anything's going to fuck him over with Taban hiring that lawyer, it's him literally using this as an opportunity to hand out advertisements for his business. So this isn't like any sort of legal form of protest. This is just, it can be argued in court, like, you know, he's lying about his vision. He's claiming he's half blind or legally blind. Okay, then how are you driving a car? And then on top of that, he's handing out flyers that have an advertisement for his business attached while claiming this guy fucked up his eyes. Like, so he might get sued for defamation or libel.
Sup, Richard. Every time I see Frank, he looks significantly worse. The tattoos, surgery, mental. I always think this is bottom for him, but it never is. It's like the gambler's dilemma. His life which looked miserable 5 years ago, was infinitely better.
It wouldn't surprise me if he starts literally hallucinating and seeing things. I think he has worsening schizophrenia. So it wouldn't surprise me if he just goes totally fucking batshit nuts. It's only a matter of time. Thanks for that.
I didn't know who this guy is, but he seems like a faggot. How would you rate my prediction?
Pretty accurate. He did in fact work as a gay prostitute, so that would be very accurate. Thanks for that, dude.
Do part-time employment, but we'll see what happens.
What's going on, everybody?